All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this invisible force that's driving pretty much the entire modern corporate world. I'm talking about the code that is quite literally shaping our future. So let's get right into it. So, have you ever stopped and wondered, how does Netflix get its recommendations so spookily accurate? Or, when Amazon's homepage seems to know exactly what you were just thinking about buying? I mean, it really feels like magic, right? But it's not. Well, in a huge, huge number of cases, the answer boils down to just one single word: Python. Yeah, it is the engine running behind so much of the smart tech we use and interact with every single day. Okay, so to really get why, we first have to understand the massive challenge that, honestly, every modern company is facing. They are just drowning in a sea of data. And the biggest question for them is how? How do you turn all that information into smart decisions, new products, and, a real competitive edge? And this is where Python steps onto the scene. It's become the absolute go-to power tool for solving these exact problems. You can kind of think of it as the ultimate playbook for navigating the crazy complexities of the modern business world. Okay, first up, and this is by far the single biggest driver of its incredible success. Python is the undisputed king of artificial intelligence and machine learning, period. And its influence is just incredibly wide. I mean, companies are using it to predict everything from what you're going to buy to how stock prices will move. It's the code that powers those recommendation engines on Netflix and Amazon. It's the brains inside the chatbots you talk to online. And it's even helping doctors detect diseases earlier by analyzing medical scans. It's everywhere. But it's not just about all that cutting-edge AI stuff. Python is also the invisible backbone of so many of the websites and apps you're using constantly, every single day. Okay, get this. Instagram's entire backend, the part of the app you don't see that makes everything actually work, was built using something called Django, which is a Python framework. And a framework is just like a pre-built foundation for making websites. Makes things way faster. The core infrastructure that streams music to you on Spotify? Yeah, Python plays a huge role there. The web apps that power Pinterest? You guessed it, Python is working hard behind the scenes in all these places. All right, next up, data science. For the longest time, the spreadsheet was king. That was the main tool for business analysis. Well, Python has completely changed that game. It lets companies work on a scale that was just unimaginable before. Here's the key thing. Python can handle data sets that would literally, and I mean literally, crash Microsoft Excel. We've all been there, right? It gives analysts the power to clean up super messy data, create these beautiful, insightful charts, and completely automate the business reports that used to take teams days, sometimes weeks, to put together. And that power to automate all that routine work, that's another huge reason it's so valuable. It's all about making businesses, and, just as importantly, their employees, faster, smarter, and way more efficient. I mean, this is the real day-to-day operational magic. We're talking about little scripts that automate server maintenance, programs that can process thousands of files and send out emails without anyone having to lift a finger, and even bots that scrape competitor websites, which just means they automatically gather public data to get crucial business intelligence. It saves a just incredible amount of time. Okay, so that's the what. But now for the really interesting question. The why. I mean, with so many programming languages out there, why did Python, of all things, become the dominant force? Let's dig into the secrets behind its success. So, right at the very core of Python's design is this deep commitment to simplicity. You see, unlike a lot of traditional languages with their complex, clunky syntax, Python was designed to be clean. It reads almost like plain English. And for companies, that's huge. It means new developers get up to speed way faster, and teams can actually collaborate more easily on big, complicated projects. But if I had to pick the single most important reason for its dominance, especially in the world of AI, it would be this: its incredibly rich ecosystem of libraries. Just think of libraries as toolkits, right? They're pre-built chunks of code written by total experts that anyone can just grab and plug into their own project for free. And check this out. These libraries are backed by the biggest names in tech. For AI, you've got TensorFlow from Google and PyTorch from Meta. I mean, these are the two undisputed giants in the field. For data analysis, you've got tools like Pandas and NumPy that are just the industry standard. So what this means is that developers aren't starting from scratch. They are literally standing on the shoulders of giants. This incredible range of super high-quality tools has earned Python a very, very fitting nickname.
It's often called the Swiss Army knife of programming.
And here's exactly why that nickname is so perfect. A company can use Python for an entire project, from start to finish. So they can use one library to go out and scrape data from the web, then they can use another one to analyze all that data, then a third to build a powerful AI model, and finally, a fourth to deploy that model live on a website. One language to do it all. That is a massive, massive advantage.
Okay, let's start to wrap this all up and get to the ultimate takeaway here. We've seen what Python does, we've seen why it's so popular, but why does this all really matter in the corporate world? Well, when you put it all together, the business case becomes crystal clear. The simple syntax, that means faster development and better teamwork. The powerful libraries, that's the #1 reason it dominates AI, hands down. The huge community, that means there's always support and a giant talent pool to hire from. Its versatility, it can handle the entire project workflow. And that corporate backing from Google and Meta, that guarantees these amazing tools are going to be around for the long haul.
So ultimately, Python's success really just comes down to this perfect, delicate balance. It's incredibly easy to get started with, but at the same time, it has the raw power to solve some of the most complex problems in the entire world. And because of this unique combination, it is absolutely no exaggeration to say that Python has become the lingua franca, the shared common language for the entire fields of data science and artificial intelligence. And so, that leaves us with one final and I think pretty provocative thought. It's an incredible success story for sure, but it also raises a really important question for all of us to think about. What happens when one single programming language has this much influence over the technology that is going to define our future?